Why preach from a boat? First of all, it was a practical way of managing the crowd, because we know that these crowds were very large. The people were pressing on him. But there's also a very powerful bit of biblical symbolism here. Luke 5:1, now it happened that while the crowd was pressing upon him to hear the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gennesaret. In the Orthodox Study Bible, it says that the lake of Gennesaret is also known as the Sea of Galilee, and it's about 13 miles long and 7 miles wide, so it's a fairly large body of water. Only Luke names this body of water the lake of Gennesaret. Matthew, Mark, and John all call it the Sea of Galilee. The reason for that difference could be because Luke is writing specifically to Greek speakers, and that this is what this body of water was known to. It had actually several names, but it was the more popular name. The Lake of Gennesaret was the more popular name in Greek rather than the Sea of Galilee. But it's the same body of water, so if you read about these in the four Gospels, it's talking about the same place. Verses 2 and 3. And he saw two boats lying along the lakeside, but the fishermen had left them and were washing their nets. So he got into one of the boats, which was Simon's, and asked him to push off a little from land. And then he sat down and went on teaching the crowd from the boat. So a couple of things here. So the fishermen have left their boats and they're washing their nets, which means they had been fishing already, and now they're cleaning up. And we note that it says he sat down and began teaching the crowd, because sitting was the traditional position for a preacher or a teacher at this time. Why preach from a boat? First of all, it was a practical way of managing the crowd, because we know that these crowds were very large. The people were pressing on him. By speaking from the boat, he could create some distance. The people could gather on the shore. They could see him, and they could hear him better as well, because the way that this shoreline was, it was like a group of inlets. And so these inlets made for natural amphitheaters. So if you were in the boat, the people were kind of gathered around you, and it also made it easier to hear. So this was a very good place. It had these good natural acoustics and a good place to preach to a crowd. But there's also a very powerful bit of biblical symbolism here, because the boat is a symbol of the church. One of these very ancient Christian catacomb designs, ancient Christian designs we see is that the church is viewed as a boat, specifically the ark. Right? Noah's Ark is a symbol, a type, a pointer towards the church. And when we think about the architecture of a church, there are the three parts to the church. The back part's called the narthex. The front part is the altar or the sanctuary, and the middle part where the worshipers gather is called the nave. And that's from the same root as the word navy, and it directly connects to the image of a boat. The other place you see this actually is that in canon law, the book of canons is called the rudder. Again, that's boat imagery, right? It's how you steer the ship. Also, in biblical imagery, the sea is a symbol of chaos and a symbol of death. So by preaching from the boat, Jesus is demonstrating, first of all, his authority over the waters, over chaos, over death. He is the one who restores balance and beauty amid the chaos. And also the fact that he's doing this from a boat, it's a symbol of how the church preaches the good news of Jesus Christ into this fallen and broken world.
Thanks for joining me for this episode of my podcast. If you'd like to learn more about Eastern Orthodox Christianity but can't regularly attend an Orthodox church, you might be interested in the Fellowship of St. Theophan the Recluse, an online community of Orthodox seekers and inquirers. For more information, send me a message. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, or if it's on social, to like and follow. Until next time, take care, and God bless.